You know about the three gunas, yeah? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm very sorry too.
I love this. This is classic.
Whoopsies. Would you agree, Shiva, that, to use spiritual knowledge to elevate oneself is where we go wrong?
No, I disagree.
Cha. Well, I mean, that's good for your business model because that puts you above people, and then you can sell them stuff, from above to below. So, I mean, that makes sense. I understand.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Enlightenment podcast where we talk about ideas that transform your life. Today I'm here joined with a brand new subscriber, Dave. You can see above me. And he wanted to join us today to ask us some questions, to interrogate us, ask us some personal spiritual questions, to really figure out the intentions behind myself and maybe potentially Carlos. So we're here. The platform is yours. We kindly ask that you avoid using profane language and no adult content. PG-13 will keep it. And yes, welcome, Dave. Welcome to the show. What brings you on here today?
Uh, so first, I just wanted to ask, what is your purpose in this channel, or maybe this kind of medium of what you're putting yourself in, offering some services? And why do you charge?
Yeah. What is my purpose? This is essentially a business. Conducting a business is my business. I could go and work at some factory or some farm, but no, I choose to do this. So, in essence, this is my livelihood. This is how I feed myself. This is how I make my delicious fruit smoothies. Why do I charge? Because I need money to survive, just like you. I can't go to the grocery store and offer fairy dust, spiritual dust to pay for food. So, this naturally has to come as a result. And, but most fundamentally, I charge because also this is a skill. This is a skill that I have, and it takes energy to do this. Things that I charge, so I have to be properly reciprocated. So it works out both ways. It's a win-win.
Can
Are
I
you
add that?
living?
Can I add real quick to what Shiva just said, real quick? So I also just I don't know if you have any idea yet, Dave. But so Shiva has a substantial amount of followers. Um, his YouTube subscribership is like 5,000, and his Discord server has like 160 members in it. You said, Shiva, and they basically all seek his advice like all the time. So I would almost make the argument that he's at a point where he has to charge, just for the simple fact
Good
that
point.
it would just be too overwhelming if he didn't. But
I mean, yeah,
that's my
that's the trade-off that comes with organization, big organization, and capitalist system. Obviously, living in capitalist system. Would you consider that you're living grihasta life, which would be householder life?
Yes, yes, I am.
What does that mean?
Ah,
Can you guys
so
explain that to me?
do you want to explain, Shiva?
I think what he's asking is that some people live an ascetic life. They live in the caves and they don't take money and they do everything for free on donations maybe, or they take food from
Hmm.
others. And some people decide to charge money. Like for example, Sadhguru is a person like that. So he owns a business and he charges a fee for his services. I'm like that. So I will have houses. I do own a house. Well, not really, but in essence, that's what it is.
What was the point of that question, David? I mean, it's apparent that's what he's doing.
Oh yeah. So he in the last live that you guys said he was offering his guru services.
Yep.
So what I'm just laying the framework so that he's just kind of identifying where he's at because the structure in the Vedas, as he knows, is brahmanas or sannyasis do not engage in like capital gains. Um, so I was just trying to make the distinction between like where exactly he's at, what level it's actually coming from. So he's grihasta. He's probably teaching people how to, live good life, connect themselves to bhakti. Am I around? Am I in the area?
Well, I want to also mention here that I don't read any scriptures. I never have and probably never will. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about. But I don't see any.
Oh,
I don't see an issue with charging people for money. In the highest spiritual order of things, that should be the most expensive,
So like a
Let's
life
in a
coach.
way.
let's ask
No.
Dave. Dave, how do you feel about the fact that he charges?
Um, it really depends. You see, like with Srila Prabhupada's movement, the Hare Krishna movement, the incentive was to spread bhakti all over the world, and he did so, and built up a whole international community for the worship of Vishnu. Um, so I think that the personal funds weren't necessarily going to him, but to a movement that was behind his idea of God. The reason why I have a little bit of weariness to people who charge is because we have this life coach kind of trend that's going on that's selling people purpose, right? And there's this thing in work industries where you can dangle a carrot to lead a horse wherever you want. Uh, and sometimes in spirituality, we can find this in commercialized kind of organizations. I would call out Sadhguru's organization as being one of these.
I was going to ask you
That is,
that.
yeah, more commercialized than it is actually uh, spirituality.
So you're in a disagreement with Sadhguru as well, then?
I'm not in a disagreement with Sadhguru because I believe that he's perpetuating Shiva iconography, Shiva darshan, so it will lead a lot of people to do research. But he's connected to the politics of the Indian government, President Modi. So his inclinations, he has to serve others too. He has to play the game.
Hmm.
Um,
Shiva, I'd like to
so
hear your response to that.
No, continue. Were you finished speaking?
I think he made his point. Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's fine. Make millions, be a spiritual master. That's what I'm here to do.
So let me ask you this, Dave, because so it sounds like there's two paths from what I'm hearing from you. You're using terminology that I don't understand personally, but I think I get the gist of it. So you're talking about somebody like Sadhguru who uses his money to, I guess, Shiva's argument to like push his influence. I guess it helps him in growing his movement and his influence, and then I guess that helps the impact that he's going to have on the world. Versus somebody like maybe like Buddha. I guess I don't know. I'm assuming Buddha didn't charge people. Um, and then maybe somebody like Jesus or something like that.
yeah.
Uh, so I'm curious. Like, do you like? I want to know first of all. Do you think Shiva should relinquish all material property and just live in the streets accepting donations and people's foods like I guess like Jesus and his disciples, or and also do you do that?
No, depending on what level he wants to take it to, he can do as he pleases.
Hmm.
I don't hold sannyas. I'm in a New York apartment right now. And I'm living a regular householder life, doing sadhana practices as much as I can. But maybe the thing that I was touching on a little bit more is that, and maybe Shiva can talk to this. When you're on the spiritual path, one of the first things after you realize that inevitably there's suffering inside of the world is you want to help everybody, and you get the guru bug. You want to change everybody's life. I feel like that impetus to change the world actually works against us on the spiritual path. So maybe I'd like to hear what Shiva has to say about that.
Yeah. I think that you can go to the highest level of spirituality and still charge money and be a multimillionaire, just as Sadhguru has. I don't see anybody here on planet Earth more competent, spiritually speaking, than Sadhguru. No human being, at least. And that's exactly what I'm planning to do. I don't see any.
I think Shiva, I think his question is though is he's saying your desire to change the world can get in the way of your spiritual path is what his question is.
maybe to, I think maybe he was asking is the fact that I'm charging money
No,
my,
that was what I was asking.
oh,
He's
so the fact that
referring.
I'm charging money, it hinders my spiritual growth?
No, 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 no. He's saying your desire to change the world is hindering your spiritual growth.
Oh, well, my desire is not to change the world. I have some desires that are philanthropic in this way, but I don't see that as hindering my growth in any way.
Doesn't that go against your business plan?
Helping people? No, it's directly in line with my business plan.
Change.
Change
You,
the world?
yes. People come to you
Wait,
because they want change for the better. Yes.
That's correct.
yeah, and you definitely want to change the world. You definitely argue with me all the time that I should become a vegan. You definitely argue with me all the time that I should follow the Save Soil movement. You tell me that I should change my beliefs. I mean, that's pretty much our whole podcast is you trying to get me to change.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess it would be fair to say that I'm here to change the world. Yes, that's what I'm here to do.
Okay,
So you think the world needs changing?
Yes, I do.
so Dave, can you
Oh,
expand
God
on
made a mistake.
oh, God made a mistake? That's the question.
Um, well,
I
I
like
mean,
that question.
from one side you can say that. From another side, if you see some kid being, probably not the best way
Shiva,
God.
what happened to PG-13? Jeez.
My apologies.
Um, I like where this is going, honestly. This is I feel like he's almost expressing it better than this is what I was trying to say in the last podcast, Dave. Basically that, like I trust the higher power, whatever he created, whatever system he set in motion, whatever the scenario that he put us in essentially creates conflict, right? Like he
This
he
is
put
this is this is why I was trying to get him to reveal what stage he was at,
mm,
because Trihasta, right, is part of Swapna consciousness, has to do with Vishnu. This is qualified duality, where you are trying to align yourself to Sattva. You know about the three gunas, yeah? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm very sorry too.
I love this. This is classic.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, so like I come from the belief where I try to explain to Shiva this all the time. Like God put us in a situation, or we can call it source or universe, whatever, intelligence, whatever. Put us in a situation where um, it's almost like He created the conflict that we're in, right? He gave certain countries certain resources. We have to fight over it. He gave us the certain desires that we have to also struggle with. He gave us fears. He gave us, there's we are eventually all going to be unalive. We have to wrestle with that. So it seems like conflict is kind of built into God's plan.
Why do you
Um,
think that?
well, like I said, so I mean, I think for me the most obvious conclusion to that is or the reason I made that conclusion is the first realization I had for that is, like I said, he put different resources in different countries. For example, that's just one of them. Right? I was born into this planet just like the rest of us, not knowing how I got here, and I just was like, okay, what's going on? As I got older, I realized that countries and people are fighting over resources, and then I thought to myself, well, why is that the case? Like I didn't make that system up. He put oil abundantly in some places and some places not. He made gold abundant in some places not, and now because of that, people are forced into that situation. And so I hope you catch that I'm trying to agree with you in the sense that I don't believe that that's a mistake by
Yeah.
any means, right? And I don't think that it requires us to try to change it. It's not up to us to try to change any of that. I don't think it's up to us to fix it, because I think it's part of God's ultimate design and plan. Versus where I think Shiva is trying to find like a solution to like where we all reach this like where we get beyond that conflict stage.
Yeah, to his rasa or taste, and to your followers, they will benefit because they also share your same inclinations.
Yeah, I want to first go back to you saying oopsies or sorry that I didn't know a dictionary definition. Please enlighten us. What is the three gunas?
Oh, sattva, tamas, and rajas. That's why actually what if you knew what ontology is, because ontology is the framework for literally all knowledge. You see, you have a subject, an object, and the relationship between the two. You know Ramakrishna? Yeah, he
Yes.
speaks on this principle. So what's happening is you have four states of consciousness. Yes, you know about this, Shiva Kailash?
I don't read books.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. If you don't read books, that's fine. But you see, we need words in order to communicate. So
Tell us.
Um, you have a creative property, you have a destructive property, and you have a sustaining property. So, these are the three gunas. You have a adiyogi there. How did you find out about adiyogi if you did not read it from a word? But you don't read books, right?
That's right. I didn't read it from a word. I heard Sadhguru talk about it.
Shravanam, yes?
Don't know what that means.
Okay. So could I ask you, Sadhguru, he knows these words because he was born in India. So, he has this terminology. He's freely able to use it. He does flex that he doesn't read books, and I understand why, because that's objectifying the spiritual goal. It's all about turning the awareness within, right? Um, but he has a framework for the universe, in order to convey to other people what is possible within that realm that he's offering, or that darshan, that portal that he's giving to people. Yeah. So, what is your framework? What is the philosophy that you're working off of that you're, offering to others that's helping other people's lives?
Yeah, and before you answer that, Shiva, I thought there was a time period that you did tell me that you did read like books,
Oh
and
wow, you read.
I'm pretty sure that you went through a period where you told me you went to certain ashrams or retreats or whatever, and they had you studying things. And am
Wow.
Yeah,
I
at one
mistaken in
point,
that, or
no, at one point, I visited Buddhist monasteries and they had lots of books, and that was the only place I could find knowledge, so I read, and I was very deeply interested in reading. After a while, reading became not interesting, and still isn't. It's I'd much rather hear someone speak, and when I found Sadhguru's videos, it was like finding a diamond in a garbage bin, which is YouTube. So, watched all of his videos, and that's how my life got transformed.
And what was the initial impetus? Did you want to continue Sadhguru's work, or did you want to be guru?
I didn't want to be anything like that. I wanted to progress in the spiritual path. I wanted to self mastery. All these things kind of came towards me.
Acha, acha. So, but you said that your business is being a guru. So I'm kind of not understanding Shiva Kailash Shambho.
Okay, what do you understand?
I don't understand the contradictions. That's all.
yeah. So I'm actually interested. That's an interesting point that he just brought up that I never really thought about. So you have a guru, and he has a movement,
Hmm.
and it seems to me that as his subordinate, you should just be
Supporting his movement, which is called Guru
support
Pranam.
right instead of. But now you're also like you're also your own guru at the same time. I don't know if that's a, and I don't like see. I don't know enough about this to know if that's right or wrong. But it sounds like he knows that that's, I guess, technically not correct.
Would you agree, Shiva, that, to use spiritual knowledge to elevate oneself is where we go wrong?
No, I disagree.
Acha. Well, I mean, that's good for your business model because that puts you above people, and then you can sell them stuff, from above to below. So, I mean, that makes sense. I understand.
Bro, this guy's communication is so spot on. I love him. David, you're the GOAT.
I just have
Um,
love. I have love for Shiva. I have bhakti for Shiva. I have bhakti for everyone. Um, and this is not for me. This is not to get at you. This is for anybody who watches. to just have some more contextual information into the world that you have involved yourself in.
So Shiva, just to get on that specifically, it sounds like he's coming from a specific framework, which I'm assuming is Hinduism, right, Dave?
Same framework that Sadhguru is using.
Uh, is Shiva Hindu? I mean, is Sadhguru Hindu?
Hindu is actually a negative term. It's a derogatory term. It was brought up by the British. It's actually Vedic.
Okay, so Sadhguru is a Vedic.
Yeah, he's a Brahmana, what they consider to be Brahmanas. That's a priest of a Vedic tradition, or what we
Okay,
know now as Hinduism.
okay, cool. Shiva, do you agree with that statement? You don't.
I disagree completely.
Okay. I'd like to hear the I'd like to hear your case for why you disagree.
Can't share with you at this time.
Okay. That's weird. So I'm gonna have to believe Dave then on that one. So all right then. So Dave. So basically, then, according to that framework, specifically, what Shiva's doing is wrong.
No, no. You see, I can't posit that there's nothing wrong with the world and then condemn another person. This is where religion goes wrong, you see, because we create hierarchies in something that does not have hierarchies. You're trying to escape duality. You're not trying to immerse yourself in it. So if I say another person is bad, but we're all Shiva, then that I contradict myself in saying that. So there's nothing wrong with what Shiva is doing. He's living the desires that he wanted to live, his karma. I just want to put it into perspective a little bit. That's all.
Well, thank you very much for doing that. Please.
You're welcome, Prabhu.
Because you made it sound to me, and maybe I just misunderstood, but you made it sound to me like he's Shiva has a guru, and that he should just further his only mission should be to further his guru's movement
What
versus
I'm kind of
becoming.
doing
Mhm.
what I'm kind of doing is holding I'm holding a mirror to Shiva because he's in a world, right? He has Rudraksha beads on, he has Adiyogi right behind him. So he's already part of a universe, right? Just like if I were to say if you had Christianity right behind you or
Cross or
something,
whatever. Yeah.
I would start speaking with that lingo to see where you are. You're part of that canon. Like I'm not a big sports fan, so if you start spewing out sports lingo, I'm not gonna know what you're talking about, right? But to get to know him more, I have to shoot out that lingo to see how he's gonna respond, to get a better understanding of who he is, what his position is, what he's doing.
Right.
But
So I get the fact that you're not going to personally condemn him for what he's doing, but what I'm asking is, according to the framework that he's supposedly living in, and according to the framework that Sadhguru, his guru, um, is supposedly living in, would they consider it wrong?
at the highest level, they wouldn't consider it wrong either.
Okay. Then I'm just confused. Then, like, why you like brought it up then?
Oh, because I just wanted to know. Well, I just wanted to know where he was at, as far as his business model, what he's offering, what he identifies as,
Okay.
which I've got pretty much a lot. It's hard for me to say that he's wrong and entertain like controversy would be to bring it down a couple of levels, and I'm trying to stay at the level that he's at, which is that there's nothing wrong. Uh, a realized being. I'm sorry, a realized being.
Okay. I don't know what to say.
Could you possibly elaborate more on your position, why you don't read books, why you believe you're a guru, why you need to change the world, why there's errors in the world? Your philosophy.
Yes, I will gladly do that. Well, my philosophy is, well, I'm tempted to say that I don't have a philosophy. Maybe Carlos will think that's a cop-out, but it's true. I have a picture of Sadhguru behind me because this was a tool that I used to get to where I am, like a boat. I used him very successfully, and now I'm here. The boat will always be there, even though realistically I don't need him anymore. But still, very useful boat. I can ride the boat anytime I want. If I had to pick a philosophy, what is my philosophy? Well, unfortunately, I don't have a picture here, but my philosophy is Kailash. That is the most thing that I've ever seen in humanity up until this point. Maybe something will present itself that's better, but that's worthy of being explored. That's the ultimate teacher. That's the highest teacher, Kailash. When I first became aware of this, instantly I knew this is the most important thing in my life, and thankfully, I got to visit that place. Why I'm saying I'm no philosophy because, my friends, this is about energy. This is not about concepts or logic or philosophy or definitions or dogma. This is about how deeply you can transform your life. Well, we need words, that's why I can't transmit this silently when you talk about this. But in essence, my philosophy, my purpose in life is Kailash. If I can get 1 million people to look at this mountain, I already have a few people turn their attention towards this. That's success to me. At least that's what I'm doing for the next couple of years, probably. Maybe this will change. Yes.
I have a question from one of the commenters. I think I'll ask this to Dave and then I guess Shiva as well. He's asking, is there no hierarchy in spirituality? And I mean, to me, I would right away think about like the relationship of guru versus student. I think that automatically seems like there is a hierarchy. And if I'm not mistaken, Shiva, you told me, what is the definition of sad guru again?
You could say it's a teacher of teachers.
Okay, that also seems like a hierarchy there. So, Dave, what do you think about that? Because you kind of hinted at the fact that there shouldn't be a hierarchy, but it seems like there is.
Um, the thing about the Vedic system is that it seems a little contradictory at face value. But if you take the principle that things look differently depending on how you look at them, you'll understand the concept that I'm about to say. Yes, there technically is a hierarchy to the spiritual path, starting with karma yoga, then bhakti yoga, then raja yoga, then jnana yoga. But as you ascend through the different levels, it becomes apparent that one thing that is true on one level is false on another. So on the level of jnana yoga, no, there is no hierarchy. But on the other levels, yes, there is. So it's all depending on how you're looking at it.
Okay. Um, okay. I guess I can hear that. I'm kind of conflicted with that answer because it could, from my perspective as a skeptic, and all this seems like a little bit of a cop out, but I guess I kind of see what you're saying.
I'll,
Um,
I mean, from one lens, you can look, for instance, like from one lens, I can look at, let's just say, a cat, and it can have the embodiment of a cat, and I can take a microscope, and then that cat disappears, and now there's a whole bunch of other stuff there, molecules. Now, is the cat gone? No, because you're looking into it. But is there other stuff there? Yes. Is the reality of the cat being whole inside of the microscopic view? No, it's not. You only see the little cells. You understand? So depending on how you look at the universe is how it manifests. So that's why the Vedic system at first seems like it has hierarchies. Okay, you want to be spiritual, you want to follow God, you have to take on some type of external rules in order to guide yourself properly, right? You have to not eat meat, or you have to be nice to your neighbor. But just being good doesn't get you to the realization of everything, because you could just be wanting to be good to get a reward. And that's not how always things work. There has to be a selflessness in action. That's bhakti, the next level, a parent level of spirituality, where you have love for another. So now you're not doing stuff just so that you can get a cookie at the end. You're doing stuff because you love the other individual. Then you'll come to a point where you'll see that not everybody's going to love you back the same way you love them. This is when you have to understand that love is conditional and unconditional. This is what brings you to Raja Yoga or meditation, which is probably what Shiva Kailash specializes in a little bit more because he doesn't follow a philosophy, he follows energy. So he's probably attaching himself to his energy body. What is the energy body? Well, when you close your eyes and you're not aware of anything else, there is still some sentience there. Usually it brings up dreams. So you see, there's a toppling effect to all these things. So maybe he's discounting the philosophy because he sees it as useless when you get to a certain level of spiritual awareness. And I understand that completely. But do you charge at that level? I don't necessarily think so.
So let's discuss this. This is the original reason why you came on, or this is the original discussion. Should I charge money for my spiritual growth? Or, I mean, for people, should I charge money for this? What do you think? Yes or no?
For your spiritual growth. Should I charge money for my spiritual growth so that that's a Faustian slip, bro?
Like the
But I'm
truth
Yes, it
sorry.
is.
came out of nowhere. Shout out Gajar in the chat from the Discord server. Also, shout out to Expand with Gregory. Uh, keep going.
You were saying, Shiva?
Yes, I grow spiritually from doing this, no doubt. So it is a Freudian slip, no doubt about it. But my logical question is, should I charge people for this spiritual services? What do you think?
I think, bro, to be honest with you, all jargon aside, if you're devoting yourself to something that doesn't have to do with material, like you're gonna relinquish your all to it. You're gonna love everybody at any capacity that you can. You're not gonna build up a kingdom. You're not gonna build up an organization because those things are due to fault. They're gonna be faulty, bro. I think the
So,
best spiritual practice is to be a vortex of love for everybody that comes into your field. That's about as much as you can do.
Mhm.
yes, fair enough. But Sadhguru has an organization, a very successful one, helped a lot of people, planted out trees and such. What do you think about that?
And there's been controversy. Listen, and there's been controversy with his organization. Nothing in the material existence is perfect. I understand you what motivates you. I definitely get it. And maybe I'm a little bit ignorant to some other things that may motivate you, and I could be speculating. But if you are trying to take this spirituality and manifest it into this big material movement, it is going to be temporary and it is going to die out.
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
But in my lifetime, it's gonna be still alive, and maybe after I'm gone, it'll still be alive. But if it
Yeah,
dies
but
200 years,
you're thinking about the kingdom that you built when, bro, the goal of spirituality is to be in union with something after this.
what if I already am?
Right now,
Hmm.
then why do you want spiritual growth of other people in an organization that builds funds to protect your livelihood? If you were
Mm,
connected, you wouldn't give a shit about anything. I mean,
it's
Okay,
sorry.
it's okay.
But if I was connected, do you think I wouldn't care if I need to go to the bathroom or eat or brush my teeth?
Oh, those are things from the body, bro. Those are things that your body just pulls you to. Your thought process is the thing that imagines all these different things that you want to do and accomplish and stuff like that. So if that's at rest and it's already connected, what do you really need to do outside of yourself?
What if I want to create an organization that has the potential of helping millions of people?
I get it. You want Leela, I understand. And it's good. And you'll probably do good work. But the intentions have to be correct. And sacrifice shows a lot.
What if my intentions are carnal intentions? I want lots of things for myself, lots of money.
Then do you, bro. I mean, we all are doing that in some extent.
Okay. I think we've kind of found the truth here in this
Everything
podcast.
is beloved because of the self, but it's not the self that's the little self, the individual self. It's the larger self. Yeah? So that energy transfer is better than any dollar bill, any sexy mama, any big ashram, or anything else like that. You can save one person on this planet, bro, and enter into the kingdom of heaven off of that. You don't need to save 1,000 billion people. And that's a lot of passion, a lot of desire. Passion is desire, remember.
Okay. So I'll share my intentions here, I guess, while on this topic. I have the intention of becoming famous, worldly known, bigger than Sadhguru and Osho combined, multi-million dollar mansion ashram. Not an ashram, not a mansion ashram.
Do you have
Lamborghinis.
Danishta? Do you have Danishta in your chart? In your Vedic birth chart, you have Danishta?
I wish I knew what that was. I have no
Give
idea.
me your birth time and your location, and I look into your birth chart. If you have Danishta in there, yes, you will be very famous.
Okay. All I know is I was born at midday, 12 noon, when the sun is highest in the sky. But regardless, we're continuing forward. I'm glad you joined us here. Raise
Sí,
some
mi mamá nos
controversy.
quiere.
And I'll continue. Maybe in the future you'll be witnessing me or you'll play a part in this. You'll also be a millionaire yogi. That's what I want to be.
No, no, I don't need no gold or riches, man. I just need to be at the feet of my Lord.
Well, with that being said, Carlos, do you have any final words?
Yeah, I'm curious. So, David, so I'm trying to be politically correct and also respectful to you when I ask this question, but I don't know how to do it gently. Um, you make money, and I guess you also in a sense are trying to push a message. You're not like living like a homeless guy, like just giving out a message for free. Like I'm sure you have a job probably. Um, I guess does that like make you closer to this like reality that you're trying to push on Shiva, or like because like you're separating the two things, like you make money on your own in your own way, and then the message is like separate from that, or is it?
Um, I I'm not necessarily like for right now, what I'm doing right now, right? We're just playing part in a play of words and ideas. I'm not attached to this. I don't care if I get anything from this. I'm not even in this for anything but the enjoyment of talking about the Vedas and Shiva, and kind of poking at Shiva Kailash's ego a little bit makes me a little happy. Um, and it's all out of love, bro. So don't think that it's so I'm not positing myself on a bigger that I'm better or anything like that. Like, oh, I'm closer to this because I'm not gaining money from exchanging these words. This is just a Sunday night before I go to work. You know, so I don't know. He's not wrong, is what I'm trying to say. I was just it's called a stress test. You know, they do it to airplanes.
Mm,
So this was just a little stress test for Shiva Kailash, just to see where his head was at, where his energy was at. A spiritual reading, if I may call it, for free.
mm. How do you feel about this, Shiva? Did you I don't know, did your soul get stretched in any way? Did you?
Yeah, I got stretched a little bit. It's quite a challenge. You threw at me. All the energy was being thrown at me in the beginning, and oof. But I like being challenged in this way because you need to see who I am, how I am. Maybe I crumbled. Maybe I failed your test. Very sad. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I passed with flying colors. Who knows? You be the judge.
Ah, you passed, but I'm not the one who judged.
Okay.
Yes, my
I mean,
friends.
that was it for me, I guess.
Grow
Any
spiritually.
final comments from you two?
Yes,
I'll be
grow.
following Shiva Kailash, Shambho.
Kailash.
Awesome.